Adolf Hitler, the man who turned fear into power. Prologue. A silent warning. History does not always announce danger with noise. Sometimes it begins quietly with a failed dream, a wounded ego, and a society desperate for answers. This is not just the story of Adolf Hitler. It is the story of how fear can become belief, belief can become power, and power, when left unchecked, can destroy millions of lives. The boy who wanted to be someone. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20, 1889, in a small Austrian town. He was not born into power, he was not born into greatness. As a child, Hitler dreamed of becoming an artist. He loved drawing buildings, streets, and grand monuments. Art was his escape from a strict household and an unremarkable childhood, but dreams are fragile. Twice he applied to the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts. Twice he was rejected. These rejections did not simply disappoint him, they humiliated him. He drifted through Vienna poor, isolated, and angry. He slept in shelters. He watched the city change around him. And slowly he began to believe that his failure was not his fault, it was someone else's. This belief that personal failure must have an external enemy would later define his entire ideology. War, defeat, and a broken nation. World War I changed everything. Hitler volunteered for the German army. For the first time he felt purpose. Uniform replaced insignificance, but Germany lost the war. The defeat crushed the nation's pride. The economy collapsed. Inflation destroyed savings. Unemployment spread like a disease. Millions of Germans felt betrayed. Hitler understood something most politicians didn't. When people lose hope, they don't want complexity, they want certainty. He began speaking not calmly but emotionally, not with facts but with blame, and people listened. The power of words. Hitler did not rise with tanks or weapons. He rose with speeches. He blamed minorities. He blamed politicians. He blamed international forces. Most importantly, he promised restoration, pride, jobs, order. His message was simple and dangerous. Germany is not weak. Germany was betrayed. The Nazi Party became his vehicle. Through propaganda, rallies, and carefully crafted lies, Hitler turned anger into loyalty, fear into obedience. Democracy used against itself. In 1933, Adolf Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. Legally, democratically. Within months, democracy disappeared, opposition parties were banned, independent media was silenced, political rivals were arrested or intimidated, fear became law, the state no longer protected citizens, it watched them. Hitler now held absolute power. A system built on control. The Nazi regime was not chaos, it was organized. Schools taught obedience. Children were taught loyalty before morality. Media repeated lies until they felt like truth. Neighbors informed on neighbors. Silence became survival. The secret police ensured compliance. This was not just a dictatorship, it was totalitarianism. Ideology and dehumanization. Hitler's ideology was based on hierarchy. Some lives mattered, others did not. Entire groups were labeled enemies of the state. Once a group is dehumanized, violence becomes easier. This was not sudden, it was gradual. Step by step, the victims and their fate. Historians estimate approximately 17 million people died as a result of Hitler's rule. Not in one moment, but through genocide, concentration camps, forced labor. War. People were reduced to numbers, families erased, communities destroyed. This was not random violence, it was systematic. War as destiny. Hitler believed expansion was destiny. War became inevitable. At first, success fed his confidence, but arrogance blinded him. As the war dragged on, Germany weakened, cities burned, resources vanished, hope collapsed. The fall. By 1945, Berlin was surrounded. The empire Hitler promised lay in ruins. Beneath the city, in a bunker, the dictator faced reality. On April 30, 1945, Adolf Hitler ended his life. The regime collapsed, but the damage remained. The aftermath. Germany was destroyed. Millions were dead. The world faced an uncomfortable truth. One man did not do this alone. He was enabled, followed, believed. Epilogue. Why this story matters. Adolf Hitler's story is not ancient history. It is a warning. Unchecked power does not create safety. Fear does not create strength. History repeats when lessons are ignored. Remembering history is not about hate, it is about responsibility.